Hey everybody, it's Master Galengeist here, bringing you my review for Fantastic Four issue 2. And this was another great issue, and I liked how it went from the other side of how we ended off on the first issue, going where we've seen Sue and Reed and what they've been up to. And it's really pretty cool. So they've been traveling around with the Future Foundation, which is pretty much their kids and all these other kids, and just recreating the multiverse. Like uh, Franklin would pop up a reality, think of it with his imagination, and Molecule Man would help kind of just bring it into focus and kind of into being. And we see them going through all this kind of stuff, and I like seeing that in the beginning because they finish this one, and there's this prince, Prince Araburo, and evidently he's into their daughter Valeria, and she's kind of into him. And it's funny because it kind of fits into like the whole Sue Namor thing, which they even make reference to. Like Sue gives the hint to Reed. Reed takes him like a couple seconds to catch on. They're like, "Oh, we'll be going and everything." And I like how they talked about how it was like, "Nah, it's non-canon, it's fanfic" when they're like talking about it. But they had helped Prince Ouroboros race against these other kind of creatures and like set up a defense mechanism and went to plot a new kind of course. And they're explaining how they go through it, where Franklin takes like requests and everything and kind of like does it all up. And it's just really kind of cool seeing Reed and Sue kind of be these mentor figures to these kids and them still kind of being kids. Mainly Franklin and Val have pretty much teenagers. So are the other ones, but they still act like kids, especially like when they were talking about about getting what they thought ready to kiss, like Prince Ouroboros, and like Franklin's like, "That's disgusting. Stop talking about that." He even balls out that like, "Yeah, technically I'm your god, dude. So think about that the next time you want to kiss my sister." Of course, Sue then immediately gets on his ass, and he's like, "Sorry, mom." But it's cool because they're talking about how they're like map makers and just discovering all these kind of things, and I'm like, dude, if that were a job, now granted, it would be dangerous as hell, but just the way it's all set up, it's like, dude, that would just be a great series in and of itself, what we've seen, but that's just the beginning part, setting us up where they've been going and what they've been doing. And Molecule Man, it's kind of cool seeing him in a dynamic of trying to make up for everything that he's kind of done and being kind of a good guy with this. I'm like, oh, that's really kind of cool. Well, they get to a point where they're trying to make another universe, but Franklin is unable to. His powers haven't crapped out or anything, it's just he's unable to make any more universes. And that's when we see this person that's been teased, the Griever. The Griever at the end of all things pop into being. The sky falls. Molecule Man is trying to like put it back together, and the Griever kills him. And I was shocked at that. I'm like, holy crap. And I like kind of what they were doing with Molecule Man. I'm like, that's a big kind of death to throw out in issue number 2. It's like, wow. So she is pretty much saying that she's entropy, she's like heat death and everything, and gives her titles and all that. And she's been waiting for this moment for the boy who's playing God, Franklin, to be at his end. And she thinks that they're doing a travesty by stitching these into the grand design, and that entropy needs to do its work, so she starts destroying everything that they made. And they're just trying to escape her onslaught, and her creatures are designed really creepily and well, giving a very kind of like H.P. Lovecraft kind of vibe. There's things at the in the darkness. I kind of like that that's an overall theme that we've been getting lately, not just in this comic, but kind of throughout different kind of Marvel properties, like with Thor, with Venom, with like all the different kinds of stuff with the symbiotes and the ends of the universe and all that is like, even with the Dark Host and the Avengers, like, oh, I really like when they bring these interesting elements together and have them like this. So they're unable to kind of stop her because she's like going through. Franklin was about to like go and like try and take her down because he's supposed to be stronger than Thor, Hulk, and Silver Surfer. And he tried to go at her with kind of the biggest blast they got because they were trying to figure out a place for their last stand. And of course, Reed and the other crew were trying to figure out this one, but of course they were close to Prince Ouroboros' one. Val's like, screw this, and decides to put down on that one. And she's talking to her dad like, listen, we're two of the smartest people ever. We gotta stop her here, even though she kind of likes the prince and wants to save him. So, of course, that's when Franklin tries to go out and give it everything he's got, and the Griever just flicks her finger at the energy blast he was going out, puts him down on the ground, and knocks him out. And, of course, the Griever starts gloating over this and saying, like, oh, the mighty Fantastic Four, you're, like, nothing to write home about, pretty much. But he's like, well, not all of us are here. And she's like, fine then. She sets that and is like, okay, this is kind of interesting because she takes that as a challenge. I'm like, okay, good character development here. She brings out this thing that she's able to like transfer things from different realities to wherever she wants. She's like, go ahead, do it. So she was like, I think this is going to be a trap. He's like, yeah, she won't know what hit her. And I'm like, okay, Reed, what's your plan? They're doing all this stuff. And we get essentially what we had towards the end of the first issue, them talking about him being able to do impossible things because she believes in him. And then they get to the end, we see the Fantastic Four symbol, and it's like, okay, so that wasn't just a thing to be like, the Fantastic Four is back. It had an express purpose. And she's like, what is this deception? And everything's like, oh yeah, this is my family, my extended family. And he's brought all the different members of the Fantastic Four. It's like, yeah, I'm glad that Reed's, I mean, I don't mind it being like the core four of like the Thing, Human Torch, Sue, and Reed. But there have been others, and at least Reed had the presence of mind being like, this threat needs the whole Fantastic Four and needs the big heavy hitters. And it's like, ooh, yeah, we got a lot of good ones. And I'm like, all right, because we flip over to it and see kind of like the cover for the next one. We see like Hulk, She-Hulk, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, all these different kinds of heroes. But I'm like, having Ghost Rider there is a big gun. I'm like, Hulk, She-Hulk, those are really big guns too. But like, putting him in there is definitely like, yeah, I'm glad that you were like, these are the big ones that we need, and we've got like all these other ones that can do support as well, because she's a thing that can literally end universes that we've made. We need to make sure we've got all of our big guns in play. Yes. It just sets up a cool kind of thing for like, alright, this is a pretty big reunion, and frickin' Ben and Johnny are just like ready to go, and I can't wait to see where the next issue goes. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.